When I saw the second rent payment on our bank statement, I thought it was a mistake. But mistakes don't repeat for 5 years. That line played in my mind over and over the night I found out. But back then, before everything unraveled, my life looked so ordinary you'd never imagine what was hiding behind it. My name's Clara, and for 15 years I believed I was married to the most dependable man in the world. His name was Michael. He wasn't rich, but he worked hard. He was the kind of man who came home with oil on his hands and a tired smile, always saying, "We'll be all right, honey. Just need to push a little longer." And I believed him. I believed every word. We lived in a modest 2-bedroom house with a white porch swing he built himself when our daughter, Emily, was born. Every morning, I'd hear the squeak of that swing as he sat outside sipping his coffee, reading the newspaper. It was his ritual. Sometimes I'd join him, barefoot, with my own mug and messy hair. He'd smile, tuck a strand behind my ear, and say, "You make mornings worth waking up for." That's the thing about betrayal. It never begins in darkness. It grows quietly, in sunlight, while you're still smiling. Normal life/setup. Our life was simple but full. Emily was 12 then, smart, a little shy, always with a sketchbook under her arm. She loved drawing people's faces, especially her father's. "He has kind eyes," she'd say. I used to agree. I worked part-time as a school librarian. We weren't well off, but we had enough. Or so I thought. Money was tight sometimes, sure, but Michael always had an explanation. "The overtime hasn't cleared yet. The car repairs took more than I expected." Or my least favorite, "You worry too much, Clara." He said it with that charming grin, the one that made me feel silly for doubting him. Every month, I handled our bills. Mortgage, utilities, groceries. But the rent payment, that was always his domain. We didn't rent, of course. We owned our home. The mortgage came straight from our joint account, but there was another transfer labeled property expense, rental. He told me it was a small storage unit he kept near his workshop. I never questioned it. Why would I? Love, I've learned, isn't blind. It's trusting to the point of blindness. On weekends, Michael was a family man. He'd mow the lawn, grill burgers, and fall asleep on the couch with the game still playing. He'd make us laugh with his goofy dad jokes and the way he'd dance while flipping pancakes. He was my anchor in every storm. Except, of course, when the mortgage notices started coming late. At first, I blamed the bank, then the mail, then myself. Maybe I'd missed something. I called customer service and confirmed 2 payments had been delayed, 1 missed. I remember sitting at the kitchen table that evening, staring at the statement. The numbers didn't make sense. Michael had said he'd transferred the money. When he came home, I showed him the letter. He didn't even blink. "Oh, that," he said. "It's just processing late. Don't worry about it." His voice was so calm, so casual, that I almost believed him. Almost. But something in me, something small and quiet, didn't sit right. Maybe it was the way he avoided my eyes, or how he changed the subject to Emily's school project. Maybe it was how he hugged me a little too tightly that night, whispering, "You're my whole world." I wanted to believe him. I did. But trust, once cracked, never sounds the same again. The first clue/suspicion begins. It started one Saturday morning. Michael said he was heading to a nearby town for work, 3 hours away, to help an old client repair a machine. That wasn't unusual. He was a mechanic, often called out for side jobs. But that morning, he dressed differently. He wore a crisp shirt, not his usual oil-stained one. And he smelled faintly of cologne, something subtle, expensive, and new. "Big job today?" I asked, half joking. He smiled, avoiding my eyes. When I look back now, I don't see a woman who was broken by betrayal. I see a woman who walked through fire and came out holding her child's hand, still standing, still soft. Pain has a strange way of teaching you who you are.
E usa de tofink strengtremen keeping everything together. Pretending nothing hurt.
But real strength is allowing yourself to fall apart and still choosing to stand up again. I learned that forgiveness isn't about letting the other person off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of their actions.
Michael Will carry his own lessons.
As for me, I've made peace with the pieces that fell apart. Sometimes, when I see Emily sleeping, her little hand curled by her cheek, peaceful and safe, I realize that everything I lost was replaced by something even more valuable: clarity.
Clarity about love.
Clarity about self-worth. Clarity about the kind of woman I want my daughter to grow up to be. Someone who knows her value.
Someone who never settles for half love.
Someone who chooses peace over pretending. And maybe that's the gift hidden in betrayal.
It shatters the illusion, so the truth can finally breach.
If you're listening to my story tonight, maybe you've walked through your own version of heartbreak. Maybe your pain wears a different name: a friend who lied, a partner who left, a promise that broke. But the ache feels the same, doesn't it?
That is what you want you to remember.
You are not what someone else did to you.
You are what you do next.
And if all you do today is wake up, breathe, and decide to keep going, that's enough. That's healing. Because sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply not give up on ourselves. So tell me in the comments, if you discovered a secret like mine, would you walk away? Or would you stay and try to rebuild what was lost? Either way, my friend, I hope you always choose yourself with grace, with strength, and with peace.